like the ceiling can hold us. Can we go back? This is a new item. I forgot how to do stuff. Good Lord. Buffy. Oh, that's the episode folder. The project folder is behind my head. Oh. Screen fits. Hey, phenomenal princess. How you doing? Let's... There we go. Hello. Buenos Tardes? Is that a Doctor Who reference? No, I'm just kidding. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Just trying to get some work done. Okay, what are we doing? We're getting work done. That's what we're doing. Why are we talking to ourselves? Project folder. How's quarantine? I have been, it's not really that different for me. I've been working from home for, years now, including at my previous job. So, physically, that was loud. Physically, things have not changed that much for me. But, you know, where I'm typically a, we'll say anxious person as is, my anxiety has been going on overdrive, which I know a lot of people are going through. So it's just funny how I finished the last Angel video, and then I was like, hey, good, I'm back. I'll get rolling. Oh, there's a pandemic on? And lots of laying in the fetal position and weeping, and my go-to coping mechanism ramping up. But I'm back. Here we are. Hi. How are you? I don't know if you wanted that much information when you said house quarantine, but I kind of have one speed. Okay. Whoa, Sonic. Here's just saying healthy, safe. The buttons. I don't know if the buttons are working.
The dance of capitalist superiority.
Cheers. It's not evening yet, so no wine. But I appreciate it, Sonic, and I hope you two are staying healthy, safe. But, kind of my daily approach has just been get up, journal, work on the script. Get up, journal, work on the script. And the family script took quite a bit longer than I thought it was going to. You shaved. Yes! I hear beards are gross repositories of germs. And since we're in kind of a germ-aware state, I thought, well, I'll give it a try. Plus, the thing is, anyone who's ever had a beard before knows they are gross. Like, you do what you can, you tend it, you keep it clean, you oil that sucker, and try and keep it tended. But sometimes if you let things go a little too long, it just kind of gets out of control. Case in point, my beard broke my shears because I have steel wool for whiskers. Quarantine sucks. This helps. Glad to hear it, Raven. Beards are gross. You are not wrong. If you're, if you don't have one of God's gifts to chins, it can be a helpful way of shaping your face. And that's certainly the way that I was using it. But they are nasty. Come here from Wizard World Buffy Q&A, and this is officially the happiest day of quarantine. Glad to hear it, Monique. Hope you're doing well. This is going to be a long video. I hope it doesn't break 20 minutes. But it might. let's see. So, section... I did not watch the Wizard World panel. I've been trying to work every day. I try and take 2 days off after I publish a video, so I haven't taken very many days off lately, except out of necessity. It is a dark Superman shirt. Page 5. Why does this track look weird? What is this, track 2? Yeah, that's still in mono. Delete. So, let's see if I can remember how to edit. Edit an Adobe Audition clip. Yeah, this is a good one. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I think I found some good stuff, too. According to IMDb, this... Did I not edit page 2? I normally do not like to do the audio editing on stream, but I guess we'll do the audio editing on stream. So... Spike is fantasizing about fighting Buffy while he has sex with Harmony. If Spike conflating sex and violence wasn't readily apparent before, it should be now, as in his fantasy, Buffy uses her vagina to beat him up. As Buffy and Xander commiserate over the challenges of getting to know Tara and what to buy her for her birthday party, a strange man inserts himself into the conversation. The man is Tara's brother, and she does not look happy to see him. Or her father, for that matter. Amy Adams' appearance in this episode as Tara's cousin has to be up there with the Renferatu as one of the strangest cameos in the Buffyverse. According to IMDb, this supporting... According to Oopsie doopsie. According to IMDb, this supporting role came in her second year of acting. Mr. McClay asks... A couple too many syllables there, Ian. Why don't you like editing audio on stream? Not enough action or too boring? It's the point of the most verbal flubs, and sometimes it's frustrating to listen to. Mr. McClay asks... McClay asks to see Tara for dinner that evening, and she uses a very pointed term for him. Sir. Yes, sir. Buffy is now showing signs of serious paranoia over Dawn's safety, and Riley notices, but the decision she made with Giles adds to the pile of things that she and Riley aren't communicating about. Back at the dorms, Tara's dad has let himself into her bedroom. Like, this is a little bit of... Let's see if I... Nah, dude. She's just living her best life. It's not how... Nah, dude. See? Gotta stick the landing. Nah, dude. She's just living her best life. It's not all about you. Daddy Von Narcissist reveals that they're... Daddy Von Narcissist... There we go. Okay, so... Cut that bit. Cut that bit. And there we are. Birthday. The birthday. This explains why when when Willow tried to do the locator spell to find Adam back in season 4, Tara sabotaged it. She didn't want Willow to know her secret. With her birthday and demon change coming in the next day, Tara casts a spell to make demons invisible to the gang. Glory sends the demon she grabbed after Buffy. Riley stops by Willie's place for a drink, the site of his complete meltdown in season 4, and gets hit on. Glory's demon... Put a hand up. Gets hit on. Glory's demon has some mates the gang are now blind to, and they invade the magic box. Spike gets wind of Glory's plan for Buffy and goes to watch her die. Or at least that's what he tries to convince him. Or at... Pause. Or at least... least that's what he tries to convince himself of. Tara realizes what is happening, cancels the spell, and the gang neutralizes the threat. But in comes Daddy Dearest with plenty of ammo for his point of view. Mr. McClay tries ammo for his point of view. Mr. McClay tries. God, I love auditions. Point of view. Mr. McClay tries to bully Tara into coming along with him, but Willow steps up to fight for her. It's Tara's. God, I love that bit. It's something I've remembered from my very first run-through of the series. Go Willow. And once Tara expresses her choice, Buffy steps forward to back her. And Dawn and I are... Dawn and I... to back her. Spike suspects something is fishy in the old man's story and realizes he's That's why you always rephrase the whole sentence. Realizes he's a and realize there's the and realizes he's a limit and real. Let's try it. Story and realizes he's a living beautiful. Story and realizes he's a living demon detector. Captain Gaslight tries to take one more stab at getting Tara to bend to his will. Amber's delivery of that line is an absolute stunner, somehow compassionate with a hint of pity, as if to say, it doesn't work anymore. Love it. Tara's party is a hit, and the episode ends with two witches dancing on the ceiling. Family is a joy. I have some quibbles and bits, of course, but overall it's kind of, forgive the term, magical how the episode feels light and fanciful while still grappling with some pretty heavy topics. Amber Benson gives a terrific performance in this one. There is a lot to dive into, but let's cover some odds and ends first. I mentioned the season is developing a theme around the idea of sanity, which continues in this one, and Buffy drops a big hint at what Glory's thematic relationship may be to the season. At this point, we've gotten to see a cuddlier, more angelific. Gotten to see a cuddlier, more angelific side of Cordelia, but I mean, Buffy hasn't. It's not like they were ever that close, even when she was under the spell of Xander Harris. Buffy usually acknowledged her as someone she potentially usually. We've also been tracking signs of. We've acknowledged Cordelia as someone she could potentially turn into. We've also. We've also been tracking signs of the Buffy Riley emerging tailspin this season, but this episode makes it not only official, but something that has been going on for quite a while now. No, Deekster, this is the first edit stream for Family. There will definitely be one tomorrow, and I'm hoping to have this video published by the end of the day tomorrow. We shall see. Okay. Turn into. We've also been tracking signs of the. Sounds good. Save. Hello, I've got a feeling. Okay. Wait, why didn't that work? Oh, it hasn't fixed the waveform yet. Right. What's going on? Why didn't that work? Oh, I forgot to. I know what I did. Boy, it is warm in this room. The other thing that happened is, so I'm living in this house with. There we go. Site of his complete. I'm living in a house with 10 people, potentially at all times, and you know, when I was living in my... What is going on? Edit original.
Mike is fantasizing about fighting.
No. Adobe Audition clip. All of my edits are gone. What? And she uses... Am I going crazy? I think I'm going crazy. Thank you, Marie. I appreciate it, Germany. Germany Kevin. Germany Kev. Edit. I don't want to do all that audio again. Why didn't it... It's supposed to round trip back into Premiere. Buffy. 506 Family. VO. Okay. Audition. Hey, Russell. How you doing? I have not seen True Blood. Currently, I am binging House. I almost said Sherlock because they're so similar. Okay, here's the edited one. So that is page 2 audio extracted. Okay. So it's not that one. Delete. Good without the full beard. I appreciate it. I have a very old man beard by way of the big skunk stripe, and it just kind of grows in mountain manish thick. So, you know, for better or for worse, whenever I shave the beard off, I lose like 10 years. I'm pretty stubbly right now. The other thing is it had been so long since I shaved the beard off that I actually I don't own any shaving cream. So, and I didn't feel like putting on my survival suit to go to the grocery store. So I think it's this one. We said it was this one, right? It's this one? Audio 2. That's the one. It shows you how much I edited out of the original recording. Okay, where were we? Page 6, page 7. That's over 15 minutes. Page 8. Oh boy. Looks like we're going to hit the 20-minute mark. I don't like the long ones. But that's fine. All right, save. Get rid of that. Braveheart or Gladiator? Braveheart. Personally.
Family is the...
Hey, how about we put audio on the right? Audio hardware. Output speakers. Yeti. Okay. I appreciate it, James. Family is the first Whedon written and directed episode of Buffy in season 5. And save. Okay, let's start making a video. Episodes. So the way the intro is written, we would probably want to work visually backwards through, or the way the episode guide is written.
I can't believe you didn't tell me about your family and all that.
Mm-hmm. Family is the first Whedon written and directed episode of Buffy in Season 5, and it's a curious one. Recently bought Harmony's Star Wars despecialized version, and boy, was it totally worth it. Harmony's Star Wars despecialized version. Yeah, it's nice to see. It's weird how, because it's been a while for most of us, that we haven't seen the in Season 5, and it's a curious one. Whedon has said in interviews that he thought about his time as the showrunner on Buffy as do I have the special features imported? I don't. Let's import some special features. Edit drive, episodes, Buffy Season 0. It's weird seeing the special effects that have been replaced since what was it? When were the first round of special edition changes? The late 90s. Thank you, Sarah. Man, that is a little flavor saver. Pencil thin mustache. That's a dated look.
Every monster in, we need a reason why every monster in history would come to Sunnydale. And so the Hellmouth became sort of the central concept for us because it allows us to get away with anything.
Come on, I need longer. There we go.
I've always been a huge fan of horror movies, and I saw so many horror movies where there was that blonde.
I wonder what his favorite horror movies are. Is the first Whedon written and directed episode of Buffy in Season 5, and it's a curious one. Whedon has said in interviews that he thought about his time as the showrunner on Buffy as putting himself through film school. Let's... Near Dark? I have not heard of that one.
Aspects of production that were great fun. I love shooting the show, but ultimately...
highly disagree, Boris. Video transitions. Audio transitions. Crossfade. Wait, so why is this not working? There we go. I don't need to render. I may be over-caffeinated. That's why I'm singing my thoughts. Okay. Family is the first Whedon written and directed episode. Wow, that green screen is not so hot, huh? We'll leave it be. Whedon written and directed episode of Buffy in Season 5, and it's a curious one. Whedon has said in interviews that he thought about his time as the showrunner on Buffy as putting himself through film school. And And one thing I greatly appreciate is that didn't mean we ended up with 15 variations. That didn't mean we ended up with 15... Editing just started. Can you do a longer video or maybe a collab on the canon of Anya? Saw a video by Yosi. The videos are generally as long as they need to be. This one's going to be over 20 minutes. I actually prefer the shorter, more concise and specific content that I create, but sometimes there's just a lot of stuff to talk about. Is that didn't mean we ended up with 50... but I appreciate it. I appreciate the desire. Yeah, I love the classic Dracula. I saw it in the theater, Justin.
I am trying to save you. You are playing in some serious traffic here. Do you understand that?
She taints us. She's impure. Season 5, and it's a curious one. Whedon has said in interviews that he thought about his time as the showrunner on Buffy as putting himself through film school. And one thing I greatly appreciate is that didn't mean we ended up with 15 variations of giant snakes or... How has the lockdown affected my work? It is, I'm what we might call a high anxiety neurotic on a good day. And in present times, that has been through the roof. So it has been slowing me down because anxiety for me is a paralytic. It's not something that is motivating. We ended up with 15 variations of giant snakes or rocket launchers. What's that do? Does anyone... I just want to be a giant snake. Snakes or rocket launchers. If anything, his episodes feel wildly experimental.
Buffy, Anne, can I talk to you?
I like the highlights. And I'm not going to be talked out of it. Season 3 Buffy hair was fun. Well, gosh. Giant snakes or rocket launchers. If anything, his episodes feel wildly experimental, from the comic romp of Doppelgangland. Which Buffy character do I most relate to? Other than Buffy herself, probably Xander. But don't hold it against me. Wait. Where is the two didn't happen to do a bunch of drugs. There we go.
Alone at last.
Variations of giant snakes or rocket launchers. If anything, his episodes feel wildly experimental, from the comic romp of Doppelgangland to... I once heard someone say the reason we hate or dislike certain people is because they remind us of a part of ourselves we hate. Yeah, I think there's some... something to be said for that. To his functional and restrained direction in the Angel episode Untouched. Save. That's why I begrudgingly say Xander, of course. First impression. Yeah, Untouched. Experimental, from the comic romp of Doppelgangland to his functional and restrained direction in the Angel episode Untouched. And family feel... Wow, Selena, family's always an interesting one for me. Hold on.
The dance of capitalist superiority.
Interesting one for me. Love seeing a young Amy Adams. Buffy aired about a month before I was born. My dad watched it with me on his chest, watched it later as a teen and then as an adult. Your videos really helped me understand it as an adult. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate the donation. Cheers. Oh, I needed to get the Buffy drink button up. Yeah, well, it's a weird thing. I sometimes wonder if I had watched the show when it was airing. I was Buffy's age when it was airing. And I didn't watch it until my early 30s and learned so much in the experience that, boy, do I wish that I had seen it much earlier. But then again, you know, who's to say I would have retained what I did from it as a 30-year-old? Untouched. And family feels like yet another specific and unique entry in his diverse range of work. Well, sir, it's kind of, I did retitle it after a while, but we decided at some point that it's pretty much the brand name at this point. No. There we go.
Blind Cadria, desolate queen, work my will upon them all. Your curse upon them, my obeisance to you.
I may have a lead on this monk that Buffy spoke of. There are a few orders that I've read up.
So, I actually want...
Curse upon them, my obeisance to you.
my obeisance to you, which I think is a form of the word obedience. his functional and restrained direction in the Angel episode Untouched. And family feels like... Jaco, good to see you. I love this one.
The dance of capitalist superiority.
Cheers, and thank you for the donation. Sorry about the green screen. Here, I can make myself smaller. Appears to be coming in and out. Untouched, and family feels like yet another specific and unique entry in his diverse range of work. Oopsie doopsie.
On a time, there was a kitty. She was very little, and she was all alone, and nobody wanted her.
This is a very upsetting story. Tell me a story.
Okay. Once upon a time...
Kitty! All right. Sorry, I went a little brain dead there for a second. Whoever replaces with After Effects I don't want to replace with After Effects composition. I want to edit it in After Effects. Edit original? There we go. Have I not done this since... Oh, there we go. Okay. Pamela. I like it. Close, save. I said I was going to watch DS9, and then Family is the first week promptly started binging House, and I'm on season 6. I don't know why I switched into it, but I did, and I have been really enjoyed House. I will be coming back to DS9. Family is the first Whedon written and directed episode of Buffy in Season 5, and it's a curious one. Whedon has said in interviews that he thought about his time as the showrunner on Buffy as putting himself through film school. And one thing I greatly appreciate is that that didn't mean we ended up with 15 variations of giant snakes or rocket launchers. If anything, his episodes feel wildly experimental, from the comic romp of Doppelgangland to his functional and restrained direction in the Angel episode Untouched, and Family feels like yet another specific and unique entry in his diverse range of work, a bedtime story. Too fast. Time story. Fine. Ooh, undo. Undo. In his first Buffy writing and directing credit this season, I don't mind repeating that image. In his first Buffy writing and directing credit this season, Whedon picks up right where he left off, with some of the dreamlike images from Restless.
You think she'd let us know her name by now?
She will. She's not all grown yet.
You're not worried?
I never worry here. I'm safe here.
You don't know everything about me.
Come on. It's funny how the cat breaks the fourth wall by looking at the camera. Whedon picks up right where he left off, with some of the dreamlike images from Restless. Watching this episode now, seeing Tara and Willow in bed loving each other while playing with their kitten feels... while playing with each other while...
Vixen.
You've been spunk out night and day lately.
Well, I just want to keep up with you.
Bick, and stop. Is from Restless. Watching this episode now, seeing Tara and Willow in bed loving each other while playing... Okay. Graphics. Where's Mr. Freud? There it is. Oh, I don't have it installed. We'll add that in tomorrow. Kitten. Get it? Ever a Whedon joke if ever there was? All right. Restless. Watching this episode now, seeing Tara and Willow in bed loving each other while playing with their kitten feels natural and as it should be.
Swooped her up and took her to the pound.
Yep, I will be editing tomorrow. While playing with their kitten, Tara and Willow in bed loving each other while playing with their kitten. Now seeing Tara and Willow in bed loving each back there. Kitten. Each other while playing with their kitten feels natural and as it should be. But I think it's important to keep in mind that Whedon was always fighting with the network for every scrap of Tara and Willow that we got to have. Save. We get it, Boris. You don't like the episode. Yay. Hands. There we go. Hee hee hee. I love that. Should be. But I think it's important to... Oopsie doopsie. Natural and as it should be. But I think it's important to keep in mind that Whedon was always fighting with the network for every scrap of Tara and Willow that we got to have. Their on-screen relationship was somewhat unprecedented. Somewhat. That one is going to create 3 or 4 comments of people telling me other examples before Tara and Willow. But I get it. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they it was the Slash Filmcast. I really enjoy those guys, and one of the, I think it was David Chen, made the observation: you can kind of tell how long someone has been podcasting for by,
I'm sure.
the volume of comments that are said with the intent to stave off emails. It's like, I'm not a podcaster, or not much of a podcaster, but I definitely feel that when I'm writing scripts. Natural and as it should be. But I have not watched The Magicians. It is on my list. It's important to keep in mind that Whedon was always fighting with the network for every scrap of Tara and Willow that we got to have. Their on-screen relationship was somewhat unprecedented. It's the same evening It's the same evening that Dawn's actual nature was revealed to Buffy, and oh, no place like home. How are we doing on time? I'm gonna go until 4, take a half-hour break, and then fire up the Patreon hangout. The somewhat will save me. You would be surprised. I'm not saying the internet is a contrarian off, but the internet's kind of a contrarian off. Okay. To have. Their on-screen relationship was somewhat unprecedented. It's the same evening that Dawn's act... That was cynical, and I try to root out my own cynicism wherever possible. There are a lot of wonderful things on the internet, including this community. Oh,
Is everyone here very stoned?
I don't know what that button has to do with anything. What unprecedented. It's the same evening that Dawn's actual nature was revealed to Buffy, and she shares the news with Giles. Jen, Mountain Time Zone. So we're 2 hours out from the Patreon hangout. Oh, and we can close audition. I love that shot. I have seen Contagion, yes. Seemed like the first week of... I love this exchange between the two of them as Buffy tells Giles, her father figure, that her dad has selfishly abandoned them. Okay, save, and I need my script open. I don't know why the green screen is doing that. Sorry about that. Oh, okay. I think we can go without that quote. It's even. All right. After the Restless hangout, can we go back to season 1? Oh, you don't. Instead of us talking about seasons 5, 6, and 7, season 6 is my favorite. It's the same evening that Dawn's actual nature was revealed to Buffy, and she shares the news with Giles. I love this exchange between the two of them as Buffy tells Giles, her father figure, that her dad has selfishly abandoned them. Lovely, intimate blocking with a beautiful halo lighting on them both. So let's remove that. That's a cool reveal.
How can I?
Season 5 is my favorite finale by a long shot. I think The Gift is wonderful. But season 6 matters the most to me personally. Yeah, we'll just live with it. All right. Exchange between the two of them as Buffy tells Giles, her father figure, that her dad has selfishly abandoned them. Lovely, intimate blocking with a beautiful halo lighting on them both. The two of them agree not to tell Dawn or the rest of the Scoobies the truth for now. Then I saw a video about
We have to keep her safe.
the representations of LGBTQ on screen, and the video made a point of saying that the BBC actually beat Tara and Willow by a little bit. I don't remember the name of the show, though. Between the two of them, as Buffy tells Giles, lighting on them both. The two of them agree not to tell Dawn or the rest of the Scoobies the truth for now. The next day, the gang is helping Buffy move out of the dorms, since she has decided to be home more for both Dawn and Joyce. Save. Season 6 reviews, hoping you can change my mind about it. So far, I hate it with a fiery passion. It's funny, one of my best friends is currently going through Buffy with his wife, who has seen the show and he has not. I was never able to convince him to sit down and watch it, but he's watching it, and he's really struggling with season 6 right now.
But we just helped her move the stuff in a few days.
Which I kind of get, especially currently, as much as I love that season. It's a lot. Does it matter if you beat it? No, I don't think so. I just think it was interesting, a bit of history. Halo lighting on them both. The two of them agree not to tell Dawn or the rest of the Scoobies the truth for now. The next day, the gang is helping Buffy move out of the dorms, since she has decided to be home more for both Dawn and Joyce. It's a wonderful, beautifully blocked scene that, as Sarah on the live tweet session pointed out, feels like a close family on a car ride. You two, stop that. That's my British. Pip pip. I don't know what a pip is. Isn't it an orange seed? So why does pip pip mean hurry up? Now I'm just babbling. Shouldn't babble to myself on stream.
You two, stop that!
He started it. He called me a bad name.
If I had to edit videos of myself talking this much, I would die of embarrassment at hearing the sound of my own voice. Well, I didn't edit on stream for, I think it was the first 2 years-ish. But it helps me corral the ADD and just sit here and get the work done. That's more important than my embarrassment. Decided to be home more for both Dawn and Joyce. It's a wonderful, beautifully blocked scene that, as Sarah on the live tweet session pointed out, feels like a close family on a car ride, though Tara has a bit of an awkward moment. Well, we did go through seasons 1 through 4. You're just saying you want to be a part of the discussion again from scratch?
Stop it, or you're going to break something.
Or I'm going to break something.
Still can't believe you're giving up this cherry corner suite.
Just a few days after we moved you in.
It's no big. You know, with Mom not being well, I'm hardly ever here. Just figured I'd save a little cash for the semester, that's all.
I think that's smart.
Still, it's hard to give up. You've got the 2 entrances, a lot of opportunity for body French farce. And everybody loves body.
Where's Dawn?
Starting to feel that fight?
Yeah. You learn her source, and we'll yeah. You learn her source, and we'll introduce her to her insect reflection. That was funny. If you studied Tagler and mythic rites, and are a complete dork.
Oh, and how come Xander didn't laugh?
That's low-hanging fruit, but I'm a big fan of low-hanging fruit, so...
That was funny. If you you studied Tagler and mythic rites, and are a complete dork.
Huh.
Hard to view Angelus as a separate entity since he's not an entity at all. I think we get into that for some reason in the hangout today. Though Tara has a bit of an awkward moment. Lonnie just covered this episode on Still Pretty. Did you consult her? She edited my script for me. As I understand it, I never accidentally want to hear another person's perspective, and you know, you don't want to steal anyone's ideas, and sometimes you hear a person's perspective on something and it just kind of becomes the truth of the scene or the situation. So, yeah, right now I avoid Buffy podcasts and stuff like that. But Lonnie very graciously edited my scripts for me, and she told me that she was glad that she did it after she recorded her podcast, because there was stuff that she would have wanted to include. So Russell, that was for the end of April. Also, I'm sure there's stuff to discuss on the podcast, which I will. Tweet Session pointed out, feels like a close family on a car ride, though Tara has a bit of an awkward moment.
And how come Xander didn't laugh?
Yeah, this is my job. So donations allow me to eat and pay rent, which I am grateful for. Awkward moment.
That was funny. If you studied Tagler and mythic rites and are a complete dork.
And how come Xander didn't laugh?
There is no the Tagler and mythic rites that she's talking about. Flea, Whedon made up. There is no. I looked for the historic. I looked for the information about it. There is no information about it. It's probably in reference to something magical.
Complete dork.
And how come Xander didn't laugh?
Wow, Riley with the dunk. You know the Riley with the dunk. The insect reflection joke, yeah, is, as far as I could find, there is no, it's not actually referring to anything. He just made it up. No, but the episode opens with her saying that she's been studying magic pretty hard. You've been hitting the magic books pretty hard. Well, I'm just trying to keep up with you. So he sets up the basis for that. Wow. Riley with the dunk. You know, the Riley scoreboard doesn't get a lot of points in the plus column, but I'm voting we throw one in for posterizing Xander. I also... Xander. Jack told me he's tired of me making him the go-to Xander defender because then he gets ganged up on. So I can't do that anymore. I also love how... Posterizing Xander. I also love how Xander takes it all in stride. Xander takes it all in stride. Xander. I don't know that Tagler stuff. Takes it all in stride. No problem, Kate. I'm either working. Work does the same thing for me. So love how Xander takes it all in stride. And I think we all have one of the things about people is we have a tremendous ability to normalize anything. Hopefully that ability is kicking in. Just because something shouldn't be normal, posterizing doesn't mean we can't adjust and stay focused and do what we can do and have control over. We throw one in for posterizing Xander. I also love how Xander takes it all in stride. At the hospital, a scary-looking thing is moving on Ben when Glory grabs the monster and pulls him away. Stride. At the hospital, a scary-looking thing is moving on Ben when Glory grabs the monster and pulls him away. Rewatching Grey's Anatomy at the moment, and all fairness, George O'Malley and Derek Shepherd make Xander look like a knight in shining armor. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of change in the last 20 years. Bride. At the hospital, a scary-looking thing is moving on Ben when Glory grabs the monster and pulls him away. I wonder if there's some kind of connection between Ben and Glory. Glory. Boom, save. Connection between Ben and Glory. Spike is fantasizing about fighting Buffy while he has sex with Harmony. Oh, you, my little mentholated pack of smokes. Do vampires sweat? In between Ben and Glory. Spike is fantasizing about fighting Buffy while he has sex with Harmony. If Spike conflating sex and violence wasn't readily apparent before it should be now. Hey, Duralta, how you doing? Oh yeah, they have no pulse. Where is School Heart? There it is. I'm doing all right. Just trying to get work done. A little bit every day. I just got so bored. There we go. That's the go-to. Glory. Spike is fantasizing about fighting Buffy while he has sex with Harmony. If Spike conflating about fighting Buffy while he has sex with Harmony. If Spike conflating sex and violence wasn't readily apparent before it should be now, as in his fantasy, Buffy uses her vagina to beat him up. That was actually one of... I'm not going to explain how it changed, but that was actually one of Lonnie's suggested changes in the script. Hey Calvin, how you doing? I am well. As well as we all can be in times like this. Just trying to keep working. As Buffy and Xander commiserate over the challenges of getting to know Tara, and so sometimes I do that, change events and go backwards. That was funny. I don't know that Tagler stuff. You're all witches. Don't do a spell on me now. Oh, yeah, it's very specific way that Spike wants Buffy to fight with him.
This whole new thing in her life.
I mean, at least he's a giver? Sarah's not even here, and, yeah, no dirty talk. It's a family show, Ian. Now, as in his fantasy, Buffy uses her vagina to beat him up. As Buffy and Xander commiserate over the challenges of getting to know Tara and what to buy her for her birthday party, a strange man inserts him. Spike is a generous lover. I bet he is. A strange man inserts himself into the conversation. You all are witches. Don't do a spell on me now. I don't know why he sounded like he's from Deliverance, but in my head, that was the voice I heard.
Magic books. Private collection. Books for sale against the walls.
So all these books got spells in them? Turn people into frogs, things like that?
Kate! Boop! Oh.
The dance of capitalist superiority.
I appreciate it. Cheers, and thank you for the donation. I've had the make the Buffy shot button on my to-do list for a while.
Yeah, we're building a race of frog people. It's a good time.
So, you all...
So,
you all witches, or... And hey, don't do a spell on me now.
So this is him trying to be polite or fun. Also, why does he have a southernish accent, but Amy Adams and Daddy Dearest do not? Save. Party, a strange... Maybe he was adopted. Could be. Don't do a spell on me now. Day party, a strange... Oopsie doopsie. Birthday party, a strange man inserts himself into the conversation.
So, you all witches, or... And hey, don't do a spell on me now.
The man is Tara's brother, and...
What's the matter?
It's a lot. The man is Tara's brother, and she does not look happy to see him. Or her father, for that matter. To see him. Or her father, for that matter. Amy Adams, for that matter. Don't do a spell on me now.
cousin Beth.
Hey.
One of your dorm mates said I might find you here.
And she does not look happy to see him, or her father, for that matter. Amy Adams' appearance in this episode Amy Adams' appearance in this episode as Tara's cousin has to be up there with the
First kill. Happily done.
Strange. She was my sister.
Yes, you feel nothing.
No. I feel hungry.
You do learn quickly.
And my father would disagree. She was my sister.
Yes, you feel nothing.
No. I feel hungry.
cousin has to be up there with the Renferatu as one of the strangest cameos in the Buffyverse. According to IMDb, this supporting role came in her second year of acting. Save. There might be a baby crying out in the hallway. It is not mine. But I imagine she'll be done in a minute. So bear with me. I hope you'll be happy with the disgusting demon.
Tara.
Beth, what are you...
I was looking for you.
I'm sorry we didn't get to have dinner.
I just wanted to see if everything was okay.
I'm sure her dad sent her. Did you know that Anthony Stewart had brothers staying one night in Bangkok? I did not. The baby doesn't like my editing. That's okay. I don't like my editing most of the time either. Happy to see him, or her father, for that matter. Amy Adams' appearance in this episode as Tara's cousin has to be up there with the Renferatu as one of the strangest cameos in the Buffyverse. According to IMDb... Whoopsie-doopsie... According to IMDb, this supporting role came in her second year of acting. Mr. McClay asks to see Tara for dinner that evening and...
Said I might find you here.
Oh.
He has a very naturally stern look. A lot of squares. Square eyes. Square jaw. Cameos in the Buffyverse. To see Tara for dinner that evening, and she uses a very pointed term for him.
Oh, these are friends. This is Mr. Giles. He runs the shop.
How'd you do?
Pleasure. Well, I don't mean to interrupt your plans. I know we've come on you kind of suddenly, but I thought we could have dinner.
Okay.
Why don't I pick you up at 6? And we'll do some catching up.
Yes, sir.
There it is.
Yes, sir.
Did anyone call their parents sir? I mean, I know people did. I'm asking you guys. Did anyone call... Did you call your parents sir? What do I think of Season 7? I prefer it to Season 4, which isn't saying much. But my least favorite is still the first. No. Well over 20. Boo. That evening, and she uses a very pointed term for him.
Yes, sir.
Sir. Pointed term for him.
Yes, sir.
Sir. Buffy is now showing signs of serious paranoia. Whoa, that's too loud. Down, down, down. Showing signs of serious paranoia. Still too loud. There we go. Buffy is now showing signs of serious... Do you plan on some of your analyses being long or short, or they turn out that way by accident? More the latter. I realize there are episodes I can see coming that I know are going to be significant due to topics I'm going to introduce or talk about, but at this point, most of those occurred early on. Like Lie to Me, I knew was going to be one of them. Amends, I knew Restless was going to be ridiculously long. I didn't know it was going to be 36 minutes. But no, I don't plan for length. I definitely prefer the shorter ones. Someone say it. There's got to be a Michael Scott.
Yes, sir.
Sir. Buffy is now showing signs of serious paranoia over Dawn's safety, and Riley notices. Thank you, Zizi.
You tell me. Gotta nip that in the bud.
She can't be running out whenever she'd like.
It's more than that.
Dinara.
The dance of capitalist superiority.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the donation. Round 2. Cheers.
It's more than that. It's more than that.
What do you mean?
You tell me.
Out. Calvin. Just sugar-free Red Bull for now. Maybe some wine and a little more editing this evening. Serious paranoia over Dawn's... We were talking on stream about it. I like Season 5 Riley. In all his brokenness and flubs and terrible mistakes. Sure, he has plenty that he is at wrong for, but so does every character on the show. Serious paranoia over Dawn's... Yeah, this is one that I didn't expect to be over 20 minutes, but there's just a lot of stuff to go over. Serious paranoia over Dawn's safety, and Riley notices...
It's more than that.
What do you mean?
You tell me.
Yeah, I think he's broken in an interesting way in Season 5, is the way I would describe it. Season 4, Riley, is tedious. But Season 5, Riley, they figured out an interesting angle, I thought, on the character. It's too bad that Into the Woods exists. But other than that, I actually enjoy Season 5 Riley.
It's more than that.
What do you mean?
You tell me.
But the decision she made with Giles adds to the...
She has no idea.
Yes, very Oedipal, as we were talking about as well.
No idea.
No.
I think the events of Into the Woods work. I think Xander... I don't want to get into the Woods. I'll start raging, hyperventilating, and then I'll pass out on camera. I don't like it. That's all we need to say. I know all opinions exist.
You tell me.
But the decision she made with Giles adds to the pile of things that she and Riley aren't communicating about. I am mighty. Here's to more of your good works.
The dance of capitalist superiority.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and cheers. Taurine. Ugh. All right. Giles adds to the pile of things that she and Riley aren't communicating about. Riley was Buffy's healthiest of all relationships. Is there a lower bar? Yeah, exactly, Calvin. Covered that, covered that, covered that. Here we go.
I want you to help. I'm not...
Yeah. I know you got a lot in your mind. You decide you want to let me in on any of it. You let me know.
So, we need to edit around this. Bick. Giles adds to the pile of things that she and Riley aren't communicating about. There we go. I like Dawn fine. There aren't many characters on the show I actually dislike. Forrest. Even though it's more fun with the subtext bugle interpretation, but it's still... Oh, and Connor. Yeah. But the decision she made with Giles adds to the pile of things that she and Riley aren't communicating about. Back at the dorms, Tara's dad has let himself into her bedroom. I suppose you wanted me to see all of these things. Like I said, every opinion exists, and I respect that.
The door wasn't locked. I was a little early. I suppose you... I suppose... I suppose you wanted me to see all these toys.
Justine? I'm actually drawing a blank. Justine Cooper? Oh, she was fine. I thought she was interesting enough. Toys, he says. Yeah, that will be another Freud moment, which I will have to add in tomorrow. Wait. I just mean in terms of characters' arc, front to back. Back at the dorms, Tara's dad has let himself into her bedroom.
I suppose you wanted me to see all these toys.
Nah, dude, she's just living her best life. It's not all about you. Daddy Von Narcissist reveals that they're there because something is going to happen to Tara on her 20th birthday.
Then they told me to look for you in the store.
I didn't know that you were coming.
Of course we came. We haven't heard from you in months. Your birthday's getting closer and closer. Do your friends even know?
Yes.
Are you lying to me? Tara, you're coming home with us. You know it's the only way.
Home?
You can't control what's going to happen. You have evil inside of you, and it will come out.
Ugh, so gross. He is an interesting villain. The members of his entourage, less so. But I'm glad to hear it, Russell.
Toys.
Nah, dude, she's just you. Daddy Von Narcissist reveals that they're there because something is going to happen to Tara on her 20th birthday.
You have evil inside of you, and it will...
Come on. '20th birthday.
You have evil inside of you, and it will come out.
This explains why when Willow tried to do the locator spell to find Adam back in season 4... Don't worry, no Riley sex face. Oh no, it's in Goodbye, Iowa. Oopsie doopsie.
Let's do it. Thespia, we walk in shadow, walk in blindness. You are the protector of the night.
Thespia, goddess, ruler of all darkness, we implore you. open a window to the world of the underbeing. With your knowledge, may we go in safety.
I love what she does, like the little after. Oh, there we go. The little gesture is...
Out.
This explains why when Willow tried to do the locator spell to find Adam back in Season 4, Tara sabotaged it. She didn't want Willow to know her secret. With her... Is Tara the only pure one in the show? Lorne is pretty close until the finale, which is one of the tragedies of the finale.
It's only going to make it worse. Where do you think that power comes from?
Tara sabotaged it. She didn't want Willow to know her secret. With her birthday and demon change coming in the next day, Tara casts a spell to make demons invisible to the gang. Coming in the next day, Tara casts a spell to make demons invisible to the gang. Glory sends the demon she grabbed after Buffy. What? There we go.
Living for weeks.
Pay attention! I have great...
Glory sends the demon she grabbed after Buffy. Riley stops by Willie's place for a drink. The sight of his complete melt for a drink.
Got a rep with these monsters. But you come in here, night after night. Are you looking to get killed?
I like the ambiance. Riley stops. Oopsie doopsie. No, I didn't mean to do that. Buffy, Riley stops by Willie's place for a drink, the sight of his complete meltdown in Season 4, and gets... That's the shot. That's the stuff.
Like if I shot you right now, I don't know if I'd have a corpse on my hands or one pissed off vampire.
Yeah, Willie would have been interesting. He was a bit of a... I don't know. How are we doing on time? 3:30? Alright, let's... I'm going to cut it a little bit early, but we'll get up to the climactic scene. Since the demon she grabbed after Buffy, Riley stops by Willie's place for a drink, the site of his complete meltdown in Season 4, and gets hit on. Glory's demon... 4 and gets... and 4 and gets hit on. Hey, Sarah.
This place is such a dive.
Besides, I don't go out with vampires. I find her a weirdly tragic... She's like a hint of Season 6 coming. Drink, the site of his complete meltdown in Season 4, and gets hit on. Glory's demon has some mates the gang are now blind to, and they invade the magic box. Save.
I tell them first.
I'm doing all right, Jabari. Break down, break through, break down. Just trying to keep working. Hit on. Glory's demon has some mates the gang are now blind to, and they invade the magic box. Spike gets wind of Glory's plan for Buffy and goes to watch her. Glory's plan for Buffy and... Save. Thank you. Beard was just getting a little dirty and gross.
Hey, I'm gonna watch.
Invade the magic box. Spike gets wind of Glory's plan for Buffy and goes to watch her die. Or... What's the most risque scene in the whole show? Yeah, the balcony scene's definitely up there. Actually, the sexual interactions in Gone, I think it is, I find pretty... Huh. And I have not seen that movie, Flea. Yeah, like the fact that she was invisible and not actually in that scene, I feel like gave them greater freedom to imply whatever they wanted. And so that episode's pretty dirty. For instance, hey, that's cheating. Or die, or at least that's what he tries to convince himself of. It's going to be a while. I can't add anything else to my plate until I'm done with Firefly. So, for now, it's Angel, Buffy, Firefly. Spike gets wind of Glory's plan for Buffy and goes to watch her die. Or at least that's what he tries to convince himself of. Got an upset baby. Someone got keys. Spike gets wind of Glory's plan for Buffy and goes to watch her die. Or at least that's what he tries to convince himself of. Tara realizes what is happening, cancels the spell, and the gang neutralizes the threat. But no, the one where the trio turned Buffy invisible. There's a lot of sex in that episode. Season 6 is pretty dirty. I have not watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think I watched the first season.
Blind Cadria, lift your veil, give evil form, and break my spell.
Yeah, that's cheating. Chances of a Star Trek The Next Generation episode guide at some point, 100%. Jack and I were watching the episode where Data makes his daughter the other day. And Lal asks him what the meaning of life is, and he says, something to the effect, I don't remember the exact dialogue, but it was existential philosophy. I think it was very Camus. I was like, oh, yeah, I definitely need to talk about this show. Invade the magic box. Spike gets wind of Glory's plan for Buffy and goes to watch her die. Or at least that's what he tries to convince himself of. Tara realizes what is happening, cancels the spell, and the gang neutralizes the threat. But wait, we need... That's the one. Oop. Still not funny. I have not watched Picard yet. I probably will eventually. But, you know how I feel about New Trek. Tara realizes what is happening, cancels the spell, and the gang neutralizes the threat. But in comes Daddy Dearest with plenty of ammo for his point of view. The women in our family have plenty of ammo for his point of view.
Demon. The women in our family have demon in them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting there too, Jabari. The women in our family. Haven't watched Tiger King. I tend to watch one thing at a time. I don't really hot swap. I've had Tiger King recommended a couple of times. Right now it's all House all the time. I'm on season 6, I think. The spell and the gang neutralizes the threat, but in comes Daddy Dearest with plenty of ammo for his point of view.
The women in our family.
Point of view.
The women in our family have demon in them.
Mr. McClay tries to bully Tara into... Yes, I did, Jabari. We must strive to be more than we are, Lal. It does not matter that we will never succeed. It is the attempt itself that matters. There it is. Data's been reading The Myth of Sisyphus.
In them.
Mr. McClay tries to bully Tara into coming along with him, but Willow steps up to fight for her. Coming along with him, but... Even if you don't review Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you should watch it. Yeah, yeah, there's a lot. I definitely, especially now that it's done, I think I'd be more interested.
Sorry. The spell that went wrong, it was just a mistake.
It's not the point, and it's not your concern. She belongs with us. We know how to control her problem.
God, he's gross.
Tara, look at me. I trusted you more than anyone in my life. Was all that
No,
just
Justin, I am not.
No. Do you want to leave?
It's not.
Do you want to leave?
It's not your decision, young lady.
I know that.
Every time that gets me. Every time. I get a little verklempt. And save. I think that's what's implied, Russell. I think it's beautiful. But Willow steps up to fight for her. It's... Oops. I screwed up the cut. Well, Luke, that's part of the reason why editing on stream helps, is focus. The first year I did this, I was very much the same. For her. It's... That's the cut. For her. Do you want to leave? It's Tara's. God. Don't know why I got so breathy there, but whatever.
In them.
Mr. McClay tries to bully Tara into coming along with him. I'm probably on 15 or 20 rewatches, maybe a little bit less. Point of view.
The women in our family have demon in them.
Mr. McClay tries to bully Tara into coming along with him, but Willow steps up to fight for her.
Do you want to leave?
It's not your decision, young lady.
I know that.
It's Tara's. God, I love that bit. It's something I've remembered from my very first run-through of the series. Go, Willow. And once Tara expresses her choice, Buffy...
You're going to do what?
Willow. And once Tara expresses her choice, Buffy steps forward. Willow. And once Tara expresses her choice... And once Tara expresses her choice, Buffy steps forward to back her.
I'm not going to be threatened by two little girls.
You don't want.
Thank you, blah, blah. I appreciate it.
With Tara's affairs. We are her blood kin. Who the hell are you?
We're family.
Notice who is absent from that shot. Okay. Because he was off drinking. Oops, too loud, too loud. Back her.
We are her blood kin. Who the hell are you?
We're family.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to stop there and take a break before the Patreon hangout, and I'll be back in about 45 minutes to watch the episode guides for I've Got You Under My Skin and The Prodigal, and then I'll be hopping into the Patreon hangout meeting, etc. So, a little bit of break time, and I'll be back then. We'll see you then.